Okay, so this is Wednesday, March the 11th, and my goodness, this is a video I've desired to do since, oh goodness, I guess that'd be last July, but, or sorry, even June, but especially when I was going through that period of being unhoused and the uncertainty of, goodness, where am I going to live? I have no place to go, and where I'm currently at, they have told me, they keep saying, I want you out by the end of this week. Okay, we'll give you one more week. And it was terrible, very, very terrible. And but during that whole process, I realized, something that I wish I would have done all these other times in my life, like say going through like a really bad breakup, for instance, like say when you're in high school, or I had some issues when I was younger where I was convinced my life was over, and then I'd look back in hindsight, like after you get through to the other side, and then things pick up, or things get better, then things pick up, and then things become great, and you look back and you think, oh man, why did I worry about all that? If I could only go back in time, I would love to actually capture the intricate thoughts that play out in your mind, and the fears and all those things, and actually go through it kind of from the perspective of like a tourist. Like you're walking through, you're observing, but you're observing a place that's foreign to you, a place that you're only visiting for a brief period of time. And my goodness, so when I was going through this, it was really like going through the time of homelessness or being unhoused. That's the approach that I took, and that's why when I listen to those videos, I kind of sound like I sound right now, because I wasn't succumbing to a spirit of fear, but I had my sights on God and sights on the vision that He's given me and the things that He's spoken into my life, and virtually who He says I am. So I'm not defined by the amount of money that I have in my bank account. I'm not defined by whether I live in a mansion or sleep in a mansion or sleep on a park bench. I'm not defined by the clothes or the brand or the cost of clothes that I'm wearing or the cost of the vehicle that I'm driving. There's really nothing wrong with any of those things, but they can't define me. The moment they define me, that means I'm being defined by something that should have absolutely zero say in who I am, and that means I'm influenced and ruled by something that is untrue. So that being said, it was a privilege to go through it, but oh goodness, my oh my, may I please say with the whole assuredness, it was so difficult. So my heart really goes out to everybody who's experienced or experiencing homelessness and impoverishment. It is not easy. Oh goodness, and it can be so I want to say defeating, but I don't think that's like the accurate word. I don't think that really accurately describes what I want to say. It can be disparaging, maybe. No, that's probably not the best word. The word that I'm looking for means like, it's like a state of despair, meaning you feel like no matter what you do, and no matter what choices you make, things might improve a little, but the whole situation is never going to change fully. Like you're kind of stuck in a predicament, and that's a terrible place to be in, because once your mind comes into agreement with that, then you no longer seek with is it gumption, or virtually what I mean is like somebody who's getting out of like a bad relationship needs to flee that bad relationship and cut all ties immediately. And no matter how much the other person tries to smooth, or maybe they feel remorseful and they say I'm sorry and this and that, you need to keep focused and flee, like Lot and his wife. Lot fled Sodom and Gomorrah. You don't want to look back, and you don't want to, and once you get out of it, you want to keep moving in that direction. So you leave the past behind you. So you have nothing, no remembrance of what it was. and or what you're a slave to. And so anyway, that was last summer, and right now I was just sitting before my computer, and I was looking up some examples and some information on how to write an effective synopsis to go alongside a query letter for a literary agent or an editor at a traditional publisher. And I was thinking, my goodness, can I be more excited? This is what I've always desired. And so I'll do another video to talk about that. I'm gonna have to pull the reins on the horses and calm myself down. But anyways, the quarter has been flipped, and I'm on the flip side now. I don't know if this is cliche or is it an idiom? I don't know if it's or this expression is correct, but I gotta say it because I want to say it. But the shoe or the other shoe has dropped. Yeah, my goodness, it's probably not correct. But what I mean to say is, where I desired to be is where I'm at. And we could always look at this from, when I used to talk about, and ad nauseum, I talk about the difference between being, going through, or being in a state of homelessness or a state of impoverishment versus going through a period of homelessness or a period of impoverishment, and how it's very wise to differentiate between the two, because they're distinctly opposite. Well, not opposite, sorry. They're two distinctly different things, and it's similar to the whole adage of a misdiagnosis always leads to a misprognosis, and it's the same thing. If somebody is in a state of homelessness or a state of impoverishment, they would need different care, support, and direction than somebody who's going through a season or a period of homelessness or being unhoused, or a season or a period of being impoverished. My mind is free. Everything is collected as best I could collect them, and I'm here, I'm present, and I'm not tainted by that experience. I was thinking of something very wise and clever, but highly applicable and transferable to many situations. But like you enter in to the next place the way that you left the prior place. So if you are in a relationship and it's really bad, and then you have like a very bitter breakup, and you have unforgiveness towards the other person and a lot of bitterness, you will enter into, no matter how much you might put mascara on your face, and no matter how much you might want to change the way you appear to appease the person you're talking to, because you're fighting, different periods of loneliness, you're going to enter into the next relationship with bitterness, and that bitterness is going to soil everything. It's the same thing with coming out of a time or a period of being unhoused. If you go through it, with a view of hope, a center of love, joy, and peace, and a mind that is clear, you get to enter into the next phase with the exact same mind frame and mentality. If I went through it and I struggled and I became very bitter at the world and very, angry at this and angry at that, and angry at this person should have done this and that person should have done that, and I should have done this and I should have done that, and all these different things, then those things are still existent, or will still be existent within me, and then I'll enter into, things outside of being unhoused or being homeless with that same mentality. I'll bring those things forth. So this is it's wise to understand this. And so anyway, so praise God, I'm here. I have no bitterness towards anything. Everything was wonderful. Like it's, I learned a lot. I went through a lot of things, and, there's been some wonderful help. And even the people that, maybe were cruel, or maybe this or maybe that, I learned like the deeper, like the underlying issues behind why they did what they did. And that's like, once upon a time I used to do the same things. Like before I was healed, I acted the same way. And so I won't judge them, but I definitely will judge those actions, meaning I won't repeat those actions. I'll be the change I desire to see. And everything is going to be added upon me as a blessing, because I'm going to learn from those things, and I can be around those people and still love them and treat them the exact same way that I always have loved and treated them, because nothing that they've done has any influence on who I am as a person, how I think, how I feel, and the way I respond to the things around me. Because the way I respond to the things around me has everything to do with who God says I am, and who God has revealed me to be and revealed himself to be. And, so I'm not going to be jaded or tarnished by the things external to me. And it's wonderful. And I think of the Holy Scripture, guard your heart with all diligence, for from it flow the issues of life. And goodness, so I'm gonna conclude this video. My hands are getting really cold. I was looking for I can't find my toque or my mitts, and that's kind of strange. But anyhow, I look forward to doing the next video, and I get to talk about what I'm currently working on. And it's been a while since I've been this excited.